Dennis Pilon is a professor of political science here at the University of Victoria. And he is one of 195 professors of political studies, political science, and political philosophy across Canada who signed an open letter written by Daniel Weinstock to Stephen Harper.
Well, needless to say, this is not the way the script was supposed to work out. Let's put ourselves back in December, and the Conservative Party strategists are in their bunker, and they're trying to work up ways that they can dodge the latest mess that they've gotten themselves and the country into. And they thought, prorogation! That's it. They'll never be able to stop us with that, because who knows anything about prorogation? Almost nobody. And of course, that's what the media said as well, is that no one's going to care. And the Conservatives told us, no one's going to care. But you told them different. People like you across this country said, we don't like what you're doing. We think this is a betrayal of the democratic principles that we want this country to believe in. And we're saying no. And as I think a lot of you know, that's the only thing that makes democracy work. People on the ground saying what they think, showing up today, demonstrating that the kind of cynical coverage we get in the media and the response from some of the politicians is not what Canadians believe. We have a different vision for our democracy, and this manipulation of the rules is not on. We are not on. With the arguments that we've heard in favor of prorogation. I mean, if this Prime Minister really wanted to break for the Olympics, if this Prime Minister just wanted to change the channel a bit, all he had to do was take a break, a recess. He didn't have to have a prorogation. I think a lot of people have gone into the reasons we think this has really gone forward, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But if we want to keep this going, we can't stop today. This can't be the end. It can't just be that we've showed up and said, right, okay, we said our piece, let's move on. Because that's exactly what the media is going to want to do, and that's exactly what the Conservatives are going to do. So you need to leave today after being, juiced up by being here with a bunch of people who see things your way, and start talking to your friends. Start talking to all your friends, Conservatives, Liberals, New Democrats, Greens, non-partisans, who appear to be the majority of Canadians. Speak to them and tell them that they need to add their voice to what we're talking about today, because that's the way that we'll have some impact, and that's the way we'll get the democracy that we deserve.
Mr. Stephen Harper either, and I hear he's a dad of 2 kids and a good Catholic boy too. However, gonna make this little cleaned up just because there's kids around, huh? Not everybody appreciates my humor sometimes. We're going to make him honorary imp. And so we got this imp hat for Stephen Harper for what he do to our votes, yeah? And what he doing to people that deserve help and not punishment. So, you please,
thank you very much.
You take this and you give honorary imp hat to Stephen Harper, please. Right?
Who is here with us today, and he'd like to share his thoughts.
You are all great. This is so awesome to see people seasoned and young all standing together because this matters. We know that we're not in it together, or we're not alone generationally. We're all together in this fight. Much has been said about the brazenness of this attack on democracy. We can and should be saying more. But what we really need to do is to do something about it. After all, we're responsible for this mess, this undignified descent into political stupor. Yes, we might have voted or volunteered in the last election, but what we're definitely not doing enough of is keeping our fellow citizens from letting apathy seed the process to these political jackals who relish at every opportunity to swipe at Canadian democratic traditions. Politics has become a dirty word, and we're steering clear of it more often in polite conversation. Shame. Out of an overabundance of respect for difference, we're allowing our friends and family the luxury of indifference.
Yes!
Standing by while they tune out only amplifies Harper's political base.
Yeah.
We're up against cynical strategists intent on maintaining power by making the world of politics a toxic place only they have the stomach to inhabit. And we must not let them do it. Proroguing our parliament to shut down dissent is unacceptable to those who cherish our democracy. And so what we must do is we have to reach out and build bridges with our neighbors, regardless of political stripe. Because all Canadians have a vested interest in seeing this narrow brand of politics fail. Only by encouraging our fellow citizens to pay attention to the political process can we ensure that these abuses are held to account. We can and must build a coalition of those truly willing to stand up for Canadian democracy. So keep that in mind when you go home and tell people what you did today.